Yogini_dialogues_existence_flvr_2.4_ Dr._Sundari applied Meta-Physicist Yogini dialogues existence flvr 2.4 Collected Dialogues and Monologues, Dr. Sundari. Aligned International Edition, curated without reduction. Prepared for publication. Original content preserved. Spelling and punctuation lightly corrected. Audio file name. Dr. Sundari applied Meta-Physicist Yogini dialogues existence flvr 2.4. Disclaimer. This recording shares personal experiences and observations of deep meditation. It is not medical or therapeutic advice and is not a recommendation to practice. Listeners should exercise personal consent and professional guidance where appropriate. In my open eye meditation, I discovered that a hidden part of me was speaking through the body, an inner, subconscious presence whose existence I had not known. It did not speak in ordinary words, it spoke in micromovements. A shift of breath, a tiny tightening behind the ribs, a quiet insistence at the base of my skull. At first I thought it was imagination. Slowly I learned its grammar and began to listen. My friends, my friends, my friends. When I began to train the gaze of my open eyes on my own reflection, an entirely new doorway opened before me. I realized that meditation with open eyes is not confined to mirrors alone. It can be practiced, both virtually and practically, on almost anything the eyes can hold. The very act of gazing, steady and awake, becomes a portal to awareness. I explored this open-eye meditation with trees, their tall, patient trunks rooted deep in the earth, their branches swaying with unseen rhythms of wind. Each leaf became a silent teacher of stillness, each shadow a reminder of the passage of time. In different places, amidst different biologies and climates, my gaze adjusted and my awareness shifted. Sometimes the desert taught me of endurance, sometimes the forest of abundance, sometimes the river of flow. Each place, each living environment tuned my inner frequency in its own distinct way. I extended this practice to the gentle company of domestic animals. At first it felt unusual, almost intrusive, to hold a steady, meditative gaze with a living creature. But with patience and repetition, the strangeness dissolved. My eyes, first trained in the discipline of self-reflection, began to find echoes in theirs. When I sat still, gazing into their eyes for minutes at a time, they too would soften. Their breathing slowed, their restlessness quieted, and a field of calm seemed to arise between us. It was not a trick, nor a forced submission, it was resonance. Attention itself became a thread, binding us together in a shared stillness. This experience revealed to me something profound. Disciplined attention reshapes the field around us. It does not dominate, it does not control, it simply reorders. In that altered field, other beings, whether tree, place, or animal, often shift to meet the frequency we carry. Meditation with open eyes is therefore porous and relational. My gaze touches, and what I touch, in some mysterious way, touches me back. Another layer of awareness unfolded. Keeping my eyes open during meditation protected me from illusions. With open eyes, I was less vulnerable to hallucinations or the storms of inner distortion that sometimes arise when one closes the senses to the outer world. My gaze outward kept me anchored. I saw with clarity that intoxication, whether of substances or of imagination, is in truth a form of confusion. Whenever I sought intoxication, it was a sign that somewhere in my life I had lost clarity, that I was masking a truth not yet faced. This recognition became an inseparable part of my practice. Clarity is sobriety, and sobriety is clarity. Through this exploration I learned that meditation with open eyes is both grounding and expanding. It grounds me in the reality of what is before me, tree, animal, place, reflection, while expanding my awareness into the invisible threads of connection that link all existence. By keeping my eyes open, both literally and inwardly, I began to cultivate a presence that is relational, lucid, and compassionate. This is my self-exploration, a discipline of steady attention, a training of gaze, a shaping of presence. It has reshaped the way I move through life. Where once I thought meditation was retreat and withdrawal, I now see it as participation and relationship. Open-eyed, I stand in the world, in dialogue with it, reflected by it, and touched by its response. My persistent, consistent practice of open-eye meditation trains me to think in patterns, to read the hidden logics and the quiet binaries that scaffold existence. I begin with the simplest pulse, on, off, presence, absence, and from there a lattice appears. Yes, no becomes a rhythm, a code, a grammar the world seems to speak through breath, posture, and event. In this seeing, consciousness reveals itself as an entanglement of field memories, layered, braided, repeating, impressed again and again into biology. At the earliest threshold, in the intimacy of egg and sperm, a first coupling occurs. Not only of cells, but of memories carried in bodies, families, places, and time. Fertilization is thus a spark and a splice. It binds streams of remembered pattern into a single living project. With the first cellular division, that splice does not split apart, it proliferates. Each division is both arithmetic and choir. 2 from 1, then 4, then 8, and in every doubling the field memory threads itself deeper into form. Membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus. Each becomes a register where experience, inheritance, and possibility hum together. Biology is not merely built, it remembers as it builds. We are the outcomes of this complex weaving, interlaced lineages of sensation, story, survival, and hope. What I call I is a braid of currents, ancestral currents, environmental currents, devotional currents, bound into a single stream by attention. The more faithfully I practice, the more legible the braid becomes. I can feel which strand is origin, which is habit, which is choice. If I unwind myself, gently, patiently, breath by breath, the braid loosens. First I see recurring motifs. The binaries that organize my reactions: cling, release, speak, silence, approach, withdraw. Then I watch how those binaries pair with a third force, a mediator that allows change, intention. Binary becomes trinary. Plus, minus with a grounding middle. From there, richer alphabets emerge, quaternary, quintuple harmonics, until the field of self reads like music rather than code. Tracing backward through this music, I can dissolve toward the initial chorus. Fertilization level consciousness, where the first binary, meet, not meet, unite, not unite, sets the meter for a lifetime. From that origin, consciousness grows by adding dimensions, binary to trinary, trinary to a polyphony of living choices. And through open-eye meditation I learn to hear each layer distinctly, to honor the simple yes, no, to invite the wise third that reconciles, and to conduct the many without losing the one. End of curated edition, content preserved, structure enhanced, _. Thanks for listening. This audio dialogue will end here now.